Hi, everyone. I hope that you all are having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. I'm going to make sure you guys can see me, and then I'm going to get started. Just waiting for someone to tell me if they can see me, and then I'm going to get started. Okay, well, so I'm just a yes or no. I see somebody typing in GroupMe, but if you could just say yes or no, or maybe it's my phone not showing up. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So the title of today's webinar, I guess you would call it, is Everything Rises and Falls with Leadership. And the reason I'm talking about leadership is because this business is really built on leadership. Everything is about leadership. I'm still waiting. Somebody in GroupMe can respond and say yes or no. If you can see me, that'll be great. So yeah. So everything rises and falls with leadership. So if you want to build a team, you need to learn how to be a sponsor. Being a sponsor means that you know how to introduce the business to people. You know how to give people the information that they need so they can make a valid decision about joining your business. So that's what you need in order to be a good sponsor. But in order to be a good leader, you have to have a different set of qualities altogether. And so those are the qualities that we're going to talk about, the qualities that you need to be a leader. So let me pull it up. And if somebody's responding, it might just be my device that's not responding, so I can't see. And so we're going to talk about leader. What is it really to be a good leader? And this is anything about this is something that's going to really help build our business. Literally rises leadership. It makes all the difference. How you are received by your team's perception of you, training for you. Going part of the team, it's only going to enhance your leadership. You go ahead and send a text out to our regular sustain your team through all the different seasons that we go through. So just bear with me. My devices, my computer, my phone, everything decided that it is not going to work. So I have been sitting in front of it for a while now. Information that is now finally being transmitted. So just bear with me. Yeah, so here we go. I'm going to put a question on Facebook, and I want you all to respond there if you can. While I'm writing this, I want you to make sure that you are scheduling your one-on-ones with Jennifer. And the post, sorry, my computer is just, and the post is pinned at the top of the page so that you can go ahead and click that link, schedule your one-on-one with Jennifer. So my post says, what does it mean to be a leader? And I want you to kind of go straight from the hip, straight from what you think it is, not based on anything else, but just what you think a leader is. So if you can, just go ahead and respond, because I want to use some of those comments while we're doing the training tonight. So one thing that I have been looking at personally is my leadership skills and how I can become a better leader. And the reason is because you should always desire to improve on your leadership. Whether you have been a dynamic leader in the other areas of your life does not mean that you should just kind of stop here. You should always want to improve. You should always want to get better at being a leader. And so, yeah. So I'm starting to find what I'm looking for. Okay. So we're going to talk about the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. And I'm not going to just read them to you, but I'm going to talk about how they relate to this particular business. So if you have paper and pen, please get it out. And the information that I'm sharing is not a secret. It is John Maxwell's book, The 21 Laws of Leadership, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. You can be purchased, downloaded anywhere. And also, but the information I'm going to share transferring to the business, that comes from me. So let's get started. One. The first law of leadership is leadership ability is the lid that determines a person's level of effectiveness. Your leadership ability will determine the impact that you have on an organization. The lower your ability to lead, the lower the lid on your potential. Yeesh. So these are kind of straightforward. So the law of the lid. So basically, you know, we always talk about we are limitless, that we have no limits and we have no boundaries. So what this law is telling us is that our ability to be a good leader will determine the path and the trajectory of our organization. And for us, that means your It Works business. So if your leadership skills are on point, then you're going to be able to grow, you're going to be able to expand, you're going to be able to excel. But if your leaderships are subpar, then you're putting a cap right on your business. You're capping it. The law of the lid, you're pushing it down and you're saying, no, we're not going past here. And so this is how I look at promotions in this business. So going executive, I try to relate things to education because I'm versed in that. So like being a tutor classroom. You pull out a couple of kids, you sit with them, you make sure they are have the information that they need, so on and so forth. You tutor them, you give them the information, you put them back in the classroom, and you know, you follow up with them and you make sure that over time that they are improving on the skill that they need to be successful. That's great. Going Ruby is like having a small group. So you might have a bigger tutoring group, or you might have a bigger pull-out group, or you might be a teacher that teaches a small group of kids, about 5 or 6 kids, and your job is to make sure you cater to the different levels, but all still try to teach them the same thing and bring them all together and show them what they need to be successful. And you pull on their skills and you challenge them, but you have a small group of people. You have a small group of people. And so that's what the Ruby looks like. Then you have Emerald. Emerald is like taking half a classroom and maybe 2 teachers splitting a classroom in half, and you're going to teach them and you're going to bring them back to the rest of the class. Going Diamond is like being a teacher of a full classroom, because Emerald is like 13 people, Diamond is like 25 people. And so when you're Diamond, you're going to run a full classroom. You got to do the small groups. You got to do the individual groups. You got to do the parent calls. You have to do all of these things to manage that Diamond group. It's like a full classroom. Then you go Double Diamond. Double Diamond might be 3 classrooms. So maybe you are the core teacher over all of these different, over a different subject. And you have these 3 classrooms that you rotate in between, and you have to teach the same subject to these 3 classes. One class is social media, one class is blitzing, and one class is parties. And so you have to make sure all 3 of these classes know this information. And you're gonna start to appoint leaders in your classroom, because student leaders are great leaders. As a teacher, having student leaders was powerful, because I know that I had poured into those students and that they were going to give out what I gave them. Nothing more, nothing less. And they had the ability and the freedom to communicate with that other student in the way that they would understand it. So they didn't have to sound like me, but they needed to sound like me. And so my student leaders were my rock. They were my legs in my classroom, because I could say, hey, Billy Bob and Shoo Shoo, they're not getting it. So I need you to come over there, and I need you to teach them A, B, C, and D. And I didn't have a doubt in my mind that it will be taken care of after that when you have a student leader. So that's being a Double Diamond. A Triple Diamond may be you're the principal of the school. So that means you have to manage all the classrooms, because your team grows exponentially going from Double Diamond to Triple Diamond. Presidential Diamond may be the principal of a very large school, or even like a superintendent. No, not superintendent, because Ambassador Diamond would be like the superintendent. So my point in referencing all of those is because leadership looks different at each level. So don't look at myself or look at Jennifer and try to run your team exactly the way we run it, because Jennifer's a presidential diamond. That's like a superintendent. I'm a triple diamond. That's like a principal. So it's gonna look different, but the core of the leadership stays the same. And so that's what we're talking about. So if you haven't commented yet what leadership looks like to you, go ahead and do that. For those of you that cannot see me, well, I guess if you could see me, I wouldn't. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, so the law of the lid. Law of the lid is very powerful. So that's basically saying you determine how far your team grows. To me, that's scary, because that tells me that I can't take any days off, which is fine, because I don't need to take any days off, because this is what I do. I can't allow myself to settle. I can't be subpar. I can't use the skill that I think I know to lead my team, because I have to look at where I am and how long have I been here. So am I good enough where I am, or do I need to improve? So I'm talking about me now. And so these are the things that I have to do. And so that's why I'm working on my personal leadership skills, because I'm trying to prepare myself to go to the next level. And if you look at a teacher that is preparing to be a principal, they have to do something different. And a principal who's prepared to be a superintendent, they have to do something different. You don't just walk from a teacher and say, oh, well, I think I'm applying for a principal job. No, that's not how it works. And you can't be like, well, I'm a principal, I think I'm just going to go be superintendent today. No, you have to prepare for it. You have to do the work. You have to study the skill set. You have to do the background. You have to do everything that it requires to move to the next level. So, law of the lid It's like serious. So you cap your organization. Basically, that's what the law of the lid says. Number 2, the power to influence lies in the ability to get people to participate. If no one is following, you are not a leader. Management is part of being a leader. Just because you can manage something well does not mean you can lead. This is powerful because management is a part of our jobs. As a business, you have to manage volume, you got to manage your customers, you got to check in with your team, you got to do reports and all these different things. That is a part of it. But where people get stuck, they think that because they can do all these things, they can run a chart, they can send out some text messages, they think that that makes them a leader. And according to law of influence, it does not. The power to influence lies in the ability to get people to participate. And relating it back to a classroom, it's called engagement. Now, what I'm not talking about are the people who have just decided they're not going to work, because one thing you cannot do is you cannot motivate people. So if someone has made up in their mind that they are not going to do this, you cannot change their mind. There's nothing you can say. People always like, well, how can I motivate my team? How can I motivate my team? It's not about motivating your team. All they have to have is a desire, but you can engage them. So the question is, how can you engage the people that still want to be a part? How can you engage when new people join your organization? How can you engage the new people? Because if no one is following you, you are not a leader. That is powerful. And that's also a little like, the power to influence lies in the ability to get people to participate. The power to influence lies in the ability to get people to participate. So when we're looking at people to participating, I'm gonna take me for example. Now, I'm the kind of person, Jennifer Mason and I, we work very well together, and we call ourselves sweet and sour, because we can say the same thing, but how we say it will be different just because of how we deliver things. And so we balance each other out very, very well. And so what I have learned is that I have to often try to filter what I say and try to say it in a way to make sure I'm not coming off too harsh, because I'm a very straightforward person, but at the same time, I understand that I want people to hear me. I don't want them to be offended. I want them to hear me. And if they hear me and they choose to be offended, I can't do that. But I don't go around saying, well, who am I going to offend today? Let's make sure my tone is in a way so that I just run people off. No, I don't want to do that. And so I know that I have to make sure I am aware of my tone when I speak to people. But the people that get close to me, they kind of know, they're like, well, this is what it is. And it is. It's just kind of what it is. And with my when I pull my people close, I'm like, hey, yo, this is what it is. It's out of love. This is what we're doing. This is how it goes. And so I'm able to influence people because I find out what is a necessity for them. So, for example, my personally enrolled team, I know all of their whys. I know their kids. I know what they need in the business. I know their goals. I know what they're working on. I know if they want to work the business. I know if they don't want to work the business. Some of them want to be around because they like to be, they need friends. They want friends. They like the network of people that we are. You know, we have different reasons why people are apart. And I know all of that. Whether I say it or not, I know all of that. So when I'm speaking to someone that I personally enrolled, I know how to talk to them because I know what they're looking to gain. So if you want to influence someone, look at what they're looking to gain, not how it's going to help me. Because if I go to one of my team members, I say, Lauren is promoting this month. I say, well, you know, I need you to promote this month because I'm trying to get up to another level. That's not influencing her. That's not influencing her at all. Matter of fact, Lauren promoting this month does not help me promote this month. It will eventually help me, but it doesn't promote this month. But I'm still fully invested in her promotion. So when I talk to Lauren, it's not going to be, how are you going to help me? It's how can I help you? And she's one of those people that I know when she talks, I know she sounds like me, even though she doesn't sound like me, because she is intentional about making sure she duplicates. So these are the things that that are important to me. And if I ever feel that Lauren is tripping, I'd be like, hey, look, you get married soon. You don't have time for this. You need to, this is what I tell my people. You need to get your life, grab it, and put it in your pocket. Because this wedding is not going to pay for itself. So what are we doing? You know, that's what I do. But it's not, you need to get your, you need to do this because you know. This is your why. This is where we're going. And this is what we're doing. Ashley Bratton always was picking at me the other day because I'm like, this is what we're doing. Not because this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. And that's just how it is. That's the bottom line. This is what we're doing. So the ability to influence lies in the ability to get people to participate. And how I get people to participate is investing in them personally, knowing who they are, knowing their kids' names. And I will use your children's names against you. So you tripping, I'm going to call your kid's name. I'll be like, well, what does, this child think about that? And I'll, you give me the looks and all that kind of stuff, but that's fine because I'm invested in their why. So, and if no one is following you, you are not a leader. It doesn't matter how many people are on your team, but if they're not following your lead, you have to ask yourself why. Why don't they want to do what I'm doing? Why don't they want to be a part of me? What is it that I'm doing? It always has to come back to you. Always. To grow as a leader is always about self-reflection. I heard a girl say not that long ago that this business is paid personal development. And if you are not willing to develop, then you're not willing to have a large organization in this business. You can't be easily offended. You can't you can't fly off the handle. You can't, it's a lot of things you can't do when you decide that you want to become a leader. Number 3 says the law of process. This law shows that what matters most is what you do over the long haul. If you want to see how someone becomes a champion, look at their daily routine. Wow. It requires a lifetime of perseverance and dedication to become a good leader. It's every day. Do we take days off? Maybe you take a Sunday off, you like to relax or whatever, but you don't, that's pretty much it. You don't really take off. So if working your business looks like I'm working my business today, but you've been in group with me and you said good morning, and you posted a picture on Facebook and you posted on Instagram, but that's all you did today, that's not building perseverance. That's not building a champion. The quote says, if you want to see how someone becomes a champion, look at their daily routine. Daily routine. That means you pushing this baby out daily. You making it pop every day. Bow. You making it do what it do every day. You got your follow-ups. You got your follow-throughs. You putting people in the system. You doing all of these things. You got your rap party. These girls talking about they had rap parties of the weekend, signing 6 LCs. Like, bang, here it go. Denise trying to go Ruby, and she's like 6 LCs. Boom, this is what we're doing. And they just was like, this is where it's at. It's no longer that I'm going to post 1 time on Facebook. I'm going to post 3 times on Facebook. I'll post a couple times on Instagram. And oh my God, ain't nobody saying nothing, so I'm going to stop doing it. No. The law of process tells what you do on a daily basis says who you are as a champion. That is powerful. Yes. Number 4. The law of navigation. Anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. Good navigators count the cost before making commitments for themselves and for others. What this basically means is, as a leader, you have to say what you can do, what you will do, and what you won't do. For example, I'm going to use me as an example so it won't sound like I'm throwing anybody under the bus. In order for me to take my team to the next level, one thing I'm starting to do is focus on my personally enrolled team. Why? Because my personally enrolled team should be covering everyone in my downline. And also what I'm doing for the people on my team who don't have leaders anymore, maybe their leaders are not working. Maybe their leaders are in and out, they're inconsistent. Maybe they're not good leaders, or maybe they quit. I take them on as my personally enrolled so that they can be equipped so that as their organization grows, they can lead. It's called layered leadership. And so I'm good at that because I can build a relationship with these people. I can bring them close. But at the same time, I have a very high expectation that they are doing the same thing for their team. And so the problem comes in when it stops. So you're getting this stuff, but then you're not passing it down. So if you're not passing it down, then there's a gap in the organization somewhere. And now a leg is going to go weak because they don't have a proper leader. And so I had to do that for me. I had to count my costs because I was being available for everyone. And, you know, I have over 400, 500 people on my team. And at any given moment, anybody from my team, and then I have people from other teams, and then I have people from other states and other teams and people I never met before. Everybody wants to inbox and everybody wants to ask questions. And it becomes a lot. It becomes a lot. And it's hard. And so what I decided to do was focus on this core group, give them everything so that they can duplicate and do the exact same thing. Because if my leaders can train their downline better than I train them, then our organization will explode exponentially. And so I had to count the cost and realize I was spreading myself way too thin. And it wasn't going to work for me. So for example, Jennifer's doing the same thing. So this is why I said, make sure you do your one-on-ones. I'm not pushing my team off on her. You see, she's not here right now because she pours out all week. So she does that. I do this, but we're still working hand in hand. We're working together because our goal is to make sure that everyone is successful. So you have to, and what we do is that we're going to try to figure out what works. Everything is not a 100% success for us all the time. And what we do is we try to figure out what works. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see how this goes. You don't just try it once. You know, you keep going and seeing how it responds, and then you do something else. If it's just really saying this is just a flop, this is just not working, so let's do something else. Because we want to make sure we're effective. So doing these mass trainings for everyone and then focusing on my personally enrolled team is something I can do well and make sure I give it all I have. And then I expect my team to do the same. At the same token, if there's anyone on my team that is not being led properly, let me know because I will help you. Because my motto is nobody gets lost, nobody gets left behind. And that's just how it is. I'm not going to let anybody fail because they have somebody leading them that is not equipped and chooses not to be equipped, chooses not to plug in, so on and so forth. I'm not letting anybody be left behind. So let me go real quick and check the Facebook page. To see what some people said a leader is. All right, so my computer is SLO to the W. Have no idea what's going on in my life. Y'all knew if y'all knew the battle I was having with technology now, y'all be praying for me right now. All right, so I'm gonna do one more law while that's coming up. Okay, law number 5. Law number 5, Jesus. Oh, let's skip to 6. Okay. Law number 5. When real leaders speak, people listen. When real leaders speak, people listen. How to see the way a person becomes a leader. Who they are, who they know, what they feel, where they've been, past successes, what they can do. When real leaders speak, people listen. So I said that to say this. If for some reason people are not responding to you or listening to you on your team, maybe it's you. Look at your consistency. Look at your track record. Do they see you putting people in the system? Do they see you hosting rap parties? If they look at your Instagram page, does it look like it's supposed to look? Can they tell from your Facebook page that you are a leader? What makes you worth following? Do you show up? One thing about a leader is that a leader shows up. One thing that I need for my leaders to do, and I don't want to keep telling them this, but I keep having to say it, is, it's the same people that post and group me all the time. Jennifer posts, I post, Tasha posts. And if you are a leader, you should have something to share. And you should share something consistently. And it shouldn't say, well, Tia said it again, so let me do it for a week, and then I'm going to go back to normal. No. Rap Destiny, that is all of our group. That is our leadership group. It's 501 people in that group now. This is our group. And if only 3 people, 4 people have something to share, that's a little scary when we have all of these leaders in here. So that group should be popping with information, because everyone learns differently and they learn differently from different people. So you got to stop holding back. Stop thinking everything rises and falls with Jennifer and I, because that's not true. All right. So Kimberly Hendricks said, showing support with your team and always helping each other. Shanice said, being able to lead a certain amount of people and also being able to balance the task of a leader. Shay says, leading from the front with love, be the example of consistency, desire to grow and learn, complete the steps to success, and learn to love the process towards success. Denise said, set examples of what should be done. Not just telling people to do, but get in and do it yourself. Teach to where those under you can ultimately do what you do better. Bow. Tell them, Denise, do what you do better. We've been talking about that. Jennifer Palmer says, lead by example. Yes. Always willing to help others become successful. Being motivational, dedicated, and understanding. Those are just a few quick things that come to mind. I love that word, dedicated. All of these are good. And so what I would ask, Kimberly, showing support with your team, I would ask for you to, and you don't have to do this now, but what does showing support look like? And Shanice says, balance the task of a leader. What does that mean? And Shay says, leading from the front with love. What does that mean? And so I would ask you to expound on these things, because they are great and they are very, very true. But one thing, when you're trying to show someone how to become a leader and you say lead with love, they may not know what that means. So you have to give examples, show what that means. And I know why you didn't do it, because you just kind of putting it out there, but that's just a leadership tip. This is a leadership tip, and this is a good one, because this is how I run a lot of things. And I know it gets on people's nerves, but just had to deal with it. But this is how I always ran my classroom. Never assume anybody knows anything. Never. Never assume that they understand the definition of something. And I think I do that because my calling, period, is to be a teacher. And with me being a teacher, my goal is, when I'm around a group of people and it's my turn to impart information, I'm never going to assume that the people around me know exactly what I mean. I'm not doing that. I'm going to make sure I expound and I instruct. I'm trying to plug my computer up so it doesn't die. Okay. Whew. Praise the Lord. All right. When real leaders speak, people listen. Yes, honey. And not because you loud like me, but because you have something to say. Watch. It happens all the time. You be in a room full of people, certain people will talk, people will keep talking. Other people start to talk, everybody goes quiet. Be that person that when you talk, everybody around you goes quiet. Because I'm that person. And I make sure I'm that person. It is important for me to be that person, because I know that what I have to say is important and impactful. Law number 6, good character builds trust. It's the foundation of leadership. To build trust, a leader must show 3 qualities. Hold on to your seatbelt. Put it on. Number 1, competence. Number 2, connection. Number 3, character. Let me pull out my handy dandy dictionary. Competence. Hello. Competence means the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. The ability to do something successfully and efficiently. You want people to trust you as a leader, you must be competent. This is why for my leadership team, I am not letting anybody be on my leadership team that is not at least a Ruby. A Ruby means that you can manage 5 people well. If you can't manage 5 people well, I cannot call you a leader. And that is just what I choose to do. Does that mean that doesn't make you a leader? Absolutely not. Because I know some tremendous leaders. I know some tremendous leaders that have not yet promoted. But then the other question is, why haven't you promoted? And so I know people who went Ruby in a week. I know people who went Ruby in 2 weeks. I know people who went Ruby in a month. And I know I personally went Ruby in 50 days. But then at the same time, I know someone who went triple diamond in 50 days. So I know people on the span. So this is what I'm requiring of my leaders, because as to be a leader, you must complete the steps to success. It is not an option. That is your competence. Because listen, please understand me. Everything that we do in this business, the fun, the friendship, the freedom, is awesome. It is beautiful. It is wonderful. It is great. Oh, we love each other. We take pretty pictures. We got our makeup on, all smile, smile, hug, hug. But if you don't complete the steps to success, you're just another pretty face in a picture. You're just another good morning in a group me. You're just another tag on a Facebook if you do not complete the steps to success, because you are not building your business. That is the foundation of everything. If it is not happening, you have nothing. And if you're not doing it, how can you require it? How can you be trusted? You bring people on, and how can you be trusted to show them how to do it? See, this is about layered leadership, because I personally, I can't manage all of those people. I'm not good enough for that. I know that. I know my limitations. What law was that? A couple of laws back? Whatever. I know my limitations. But if I can focus on these people and I can train them to do it well, then they do it for others. But if it's not happening, then they're not showing competence, and then they're not being trusted, and the leadership level breaks. Competence. I'm talking about being a leader. I'm not talking about being called a leader. I'm talking about being a leader. And y'all, I'm sharing this because this stuff has challenged me. Because I'm like, dude, yo, God, I gotta go presidential. He's like, yo, Tia, you need to be better. I'm like, what? Better at what? I'm the bomb. He's like, hey, yo, you the bomb, but you ain't the big bomb. You ain't an atomic bomb. You just a medium bomb. I'm like, dang, I gotta be a bigger bomb than I am? Absolutely. I've been triple diamond for 2 years now. That's the law of lid. I'm good enough to be a triple diamond, but my leadership skills must not be where they need to be a presidential. So what is Latia Yvette Powell doing? She's working on it. I'm getting my life, wrapping it up, grabbing it, putting it in my pocket so that I can be the leader I need to be a presidential diamond. Because if I'm not there, I'm not there. That's just my reality. It's all good, because where I am, I won't be long. Trust me, because I'm going to get my life. I'm not making excuses for myself. I need to be better. Be better. Yep. Competence, the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. Bow. Next one is connection. To build trust, a leader must show 3 qualities. Connection. You can't be a leader if we can't find you. 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 Where they at though? Where they go though? Who they at though? We don't know where they are though. We can't call you though. You don't return text though. But you want to be a leader though. You talk to your little team, but you don't talk to everybody else though. You're not connected. You're not a leader. I didn't say it. John Maxwell said it. Please do not be offended at me. Connection. See, connection builds this business. This is a network marketing business. This is not a job. So this business is built off networking. Not just networking with new people, but networking with the current people also. Because though I have a certain skill set, though Jennifer has a certain skill set, we have oodles of people on this team with an amazing skill set, and they can do great things. But if you're not connected to the team, you'll never meet them. If you don't get in group me, you won't know that somebody signed 10 LCs from doing a vendor event, or they signed 15 LCs from learning how to work their Instagram page, or, because these things are said in GroupMe. They're not really said on Facebook. They're said in GroupMe. So you miss those things because you're not connected. You put your GroupMe on mute, boop, and then you come in and you check in when you have a question. And you're like, my business is slow. Why is my business so slow? But where you at though? I can't sign DTs. But did you get on a trainer call though? Where you at though? You know how to do it though. No though. I'm telling you something. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Okay? I'm gonna tell you something. There's absolutely no reason that you're in this business, and especially if I signed you and you haven't done a 3-way call with me. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm saying the same thing for Jennifer too, and for any of the other leaders. If your business is slow and you haven't done a 3-way, that's part of the reason why. Because it's hard to learn how to do something when you have to learn it the hard way. This business is built on speed. And you said, nope, I don't want the fast way. Give me the slow way, please. I'm just saying. Okay, that's right. Put the slow way in my bag. I'm checking out at the counter. So you want to build trust with your team? You need to be competent. That means be good enough at what you're supposed to be doing. You want to be trustworthy? You need to be connected. Where you at though? You want to be trusted? You need to have good character. What does it mean to have good character? This is one of my favorite words. I love the word character like I love the word integrity. It's one of those words that has so much weight. Character means the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. The mental and moral qualities. So that means if a person that has good character, that means that you can be trusted when the light's on, when the light's off. Hey, and guess what? People can smell it on you. People can smell good character. People know when you sneaky and can't be trusted. So if you sneaky and can't be trusted in life, people know it. And you can smile and cheese and all this kind of stuff, but people look at you like, I can't trust her. I can't trust him. I just can't. I just like me. I can look at people and say, that's a do as I say, not as I do people. Those people drive me bananas. Don't try to make people do what you say, not what you do. The law of respect. People naturally follow leaders who are stronger than themselves. Fine. That's great. If people do not have trust in you as a leader, they will not respect you nor want to follow you. Yikes. Why don't people respect me? Because they don't trust you. Maybe you are not competent. Maybe you are not connected. And maybe you have character flaws. Number 8, because the time is winding down. The law of intuition. Leadership intuition separates the greatest leaders from the ones who are merely good. Good God, right now. Leaders see everything with leadership bias, and as a result, they instinctively know what to do. Yes, everyone is capable of developing a degree of leadership intuition. No one starts the same place. Basically, what they're saying is leaders think 3 steps ahead. You always 3 steps ahead of your people. You see Susie starting out slow. Hey, Susie, you need to have this done by the next 2 weeks. If not, this is what's going to happen. I'm telling you that this is going to happen now so that you can understand that if these things are not done, this is what you can expect. And over the next couple of days, you can see what Susie is or is not going to do. And now you have your intuition. I don't know if I should keep calling Susie. I'm going to give Susie space to do what she's going to do. If I need to give Susie 2 loyal customers so I can get my fast start bonus, that's fine. But Susie is trying to, I have my intuition is working to let me know this is going to be a problem. Intuition says it's July. People experience volume drops at certain times of the year. But you know what? I know several people whose volume did not drop but grew last year because their intuition kicked in and they developed a leadership team and they focused in on their leaders and they helped their organization to grow by developing people. And so their volume continued to grow throughout the year instead of decline because they focused in on what was the most important, and that's personal development. You help somebody develop personally, they can get 400. If you really think about it, if everybody got 400, let me tell y'all something. If everybody on my team, where's the calculator on this phone, Jesus? Where is the calculator? Oh, wait. Okay. Me personally, if everyone on my team got 400, my volume would be 160,000. So that tells me I have a lot of work to do because my volume is not anywhere near 160,000 when the month ends. Nope. But if you have over 400 active accounts, so what can you do to help individuals at least get to 400? And see, if we think about 400, it's 4 people, 4 skinny packs and an auto ship. Why is that hard? And that is the question of the hour. Why is that hard? You need to find out why it's hard. Because somewhere, somehow, something is not working if month after month, the least someone can't do is be a qualified leg. Law of intuition says, okay, I can't have another volume drop this month. So what do I need to do to help these people find their way to get what it is they say they want? Because you have to remember, this organization is a lot of times filled with people who want something. A lot of times they just don't know how to get it. But you as a leader, you have the intuition to say, hey, I see you're not really making excuses. You just really don't know how to do it. So let me talk to you. Let me find out what is your problem. And as you talk, and as you see what people want, and as they talk about it, you'll see that they're not congruent, and then you can help them fix the problem. But you have to have the intuition and not just expect everyone to know everything just because they paid $99, because that's not how it works. Because if that's how it worked, we'd all be millionaires by now, and everybody would be promoted. I don't know what law this is because it doesn't have a number. What's this, 8? I don't know. Those 3 major this is because it's the same part as the other law. 3 major intuition levels: those who naturally see it, those who are nurtured to see it, and then those who will never see it. Great day in the morning. I tell you what, I naturally see it. And I know that there are levels that I have been nurtured to see. Then there are things I just don't see. Because we see in part and we know in part. But that's why we have each other around. We balance each other out. I'm going to keep on going. Law number 9. Who you are is who you will attract. Thus, the saying, birds of a feather flock together. You will probably find that you and the people who follow you share common ground in several of these key areas: attitude, generation, background, values, life, experience, leadership ability. Ask yourself the question: the people that, and this is somewhat true, because then the other law said that you people are attracted to people that are stronger than them. So you're going to get some people because you are a strong person and people want to be a part of that. They want to strengthen themselves. But then you have some people that are like you. This is called the law of magnetism. So if you look at what you're drawing to you and you don't like what you're drawing to you, look at yourself. That's what this law was saying. You don't like what you're getting, then you need to fix something, because your magnet is pulling things to you that you don't like. But it's not the magnet, it's you. Law number 10. True leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. True leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. That goes back to what I said earlier about me changing to focus more on my personally enrolled team so that I can know and unlock what's in their heart, because that's what's important to me, because I can easily help you if I know what's in your heart, if you let me, because everybody's not going to let you. It's fine. That's people's personal choice. The stronger the relationship and connection between individuals, the more likely the follower will want to help the leader. I got some rods on my team. That means ride or dies, right? I got some girls on my team that I don't care what's going to happen. They're not leaving me or going nowhere. That's because of the relationship that we built. I can call their names, but I'm not. But we down like 4 flat tires. That's just how we roll. They're my boo things. That's just what it is. Why? Because of the relationship that we develop. This is why it's important to build a core and not spread yourself so thin, because it's impossible to build that relationship with every single person. For me anyway. So what I'm doing, I'm focusing on the core, and I expect them to have that same type of relationship with the people that they are bringing in also, and the current people that they have that will allow them. It's all about connection. 6 keys to connection. Number 1, personal authenticity. I'm a very authentic person, sometimes to a fault. Trying to work on that. Relationship. That's a key to connection. Approachability. That means people feel comfortable coming to you. Don't be putting your hands up, Lolo, like I'm talking to you. You don't know I'm talking about you. But I was, but whatever. You one of them. Anyway, don't be interrupting me. 6 keys to connection. Mutual respect. Okay, so here's the thing. One thing I do when I'm talking to my people, especially if we're having a conversation, is they look at me as their leader, but I'm treating them as if we're equals. Because I always tell my people, okay, so yes, I'm triple diamond. Yes, you might be here, but this is the thing. The bottom line is we all want the exact same thing. So we're equals and we're doing this together. There may be some things that I know a little bit more about, but that won't be for long. Like the leaders of my team, whether they do it or not, they know what I know. Whether they exhibit it or not, they know what I know. And that's the bottom line. So I'm not going to keep giving to the same people, and they old and they've been around 1.5 years, 2 years. Some of them even that's been around for 8 months. They know it. I'm not feeding them baby milk anymore. I'm not doing that because they know what I know. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Mutual respect. So they know that. Belief in people. Meaning and depth. Here's the thing. Honey, this belief in people is a two-way street. This is one that I know it's not a struggle for me because I have a very strong belief in people. Like, I believe in people beyond themselves a lot of times. But there comes a time when people can't continue to affirm you and tell you that you are good at something. What that means is, once I say, hey, Jennifer, you're great at enrolling distributors. This is what I need you to do. Don't stop enrolling distributors. Start to communicate that with your team and share with your team how you're doing it so that everybody can know. And the next month, she's like, I really want to start telling my team how to enroll in distributors. I'm just not sure. And I'm like, dude, we just had this talk last month. Why are we talking about this again? Once you've been affirmed in an area, don't need it again. Everybody has validators, and you need to understand who your validators are and who they are not. Do not stress out your validators. Don't make your validators keep telling you that you're validated. And one reason why people need continuous validation from their validators is because they're looking for validation everywhere. Everybody needs validation, okay? The problem is when you look at the wrong people for validation and they don't give it to you, it detracts from your tank. And now somebody that's supposed to give it has to come and put it back in. But that wears people out over time. So stop taking negative things from people who are not supposed to be your validators. And here's a prime example. Just because you're related does not make them a validator. Just because they're a parent doesn't make them a validator. This is the truth. I had to talk with somebody a couple of weeks ago. A parent, just because a parent doesn't make him a validator. Should it? Absolutely. Does it? Absolutely not. Because if they can't affirm you and tell you that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing and show you how to do it better, then you can't listen to the negativity. Because then when somebody tells you you're good, all you hear is you're bad. And then you wear people out and be like, dang, how many times I got to tell you good before you believe you good? It's because you're hearing too much negative. Or the negative has been spoken and is playing over and over. Law of connection. This is some good stuff. And we don't have but 2 more minutes, y'all. And then we got to go. Law number 11. The law of the inner circle. A leader's potential is determined by those closest to him. Look for the greatness in the group and form alliances with strong members. 5 types of people you should bring to your inner circle. Potential value, those who raise up themselves. Positive value, those who raise morale. Personal value, those who raise up the leader. Production value, those who raise up others. Proven value, those who raise up people who raise up other people. Bow, we could just stop the trainer right there, because I tell you what, this is where it's at. This is why I'm hot. This is what it is right here. This is who is in your circle. I'm telling y'all, if you do this, if you gain this, you get people who raise themselves up. That means you don't have to baby everybody around you. You don't always have to be in charge, but they raise themselves up. Positive value. That means they're not a Debbie Downer all the time, and you got to try to figure out how to make them happy, but you got somebody to come around and they throw sunshine in the air and everyone's like, oh, great, we're happy now. And personal value, those who encourage you as the leader. And production value, those who raise up others. So they don't just wait for you to do it, but they go do it themselves. And then proven value, those who raise up people who raise up other people. That means they are able to duplicate. Okay, so we started about 5 after, so I'm gonna go about 5 more minutes. Is this good? Is this helping anybody? Because this is helping me. This is some powerful stuff. Is this helping anybody? Where y'all at though? Y'all leave me though? That's fine though. Hold on. Next law, law number 12. And I'll make this my last one. I hope so, because this is really good. Only secure leaders give power to others. If a leader is able to give power away, the organization will become more powerful. Only empowered people can reach their full potential. Maxwell said, I believe the greatest thing happened only when you give others credit. That's the law of empowerment in action. Number 12 is the law of empowerment. You can't do it alone. You have to secure your leaders and you have to give them power. You can't make all the decisions for them. You have to give them the space to make mistakes and to do it themselves. You got to give power away. You can't do everybody's 3-way call on other people's team because they're not good enough. Maybe if they get tired of their team not growing, they'll learn how to do it better. This is not like all the information has not been given. So I'm going to stop at law number 12. This has been your leadership moment with Latia. No, I'm just kidding. But these have been good. These have been really good. We are going to make sure we continue with this next Sunday. And I thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. And make sure you pass on this link, rapdestinytraining.info, and tell people to watch the playback because it's going to be live. And even after I take it off of the website, it's still on my YouTube page. So it can be watched. It's not going anywhere, and I may put it in a file. But this is what we're doing. This is where we at. All right. See y'all later. Peace and hair.